I'm Kelly Hessedal. Thank you for joining us for this On the Menu special. San Diego is known for many things, from its beaches to its fantastic weather and even its food. I've been visiting some of San Diego's top restaurants and sharing them with you. So let's start with a Michelin-recognized restaurant in North Park that stands out for its Iberian-influenced tapas and also for its quirky name. I met up with one of the chefs behind the remarkable food at Mabels Gone Fishing. Along 30th Street in North Park, a restaurant with a quirky name, a laid-back neighborly vibe, and lots of personality.
What's with the name? Who's Mabel? And why is it named Mabel's Gone Fishing?
Mabel is our owner Chelsea's past dog. She was very fond of this dog, and from what I've been told, she was a very, very good dog.
Mabel was rescued from the streets of Argentina. She's everywhere you look, on the walls, on the menu.
We keep her very dear in our hearts.
Even on the floor. Here's video of her leaving her paw prints in the concrete. The trail is right there as you walk in the door.
The whole restaurant kind of has this quirkiness to it, right?
Yeah.
Chef Tanner Stanich created some of the Spanish and Portuguese-inspired tapas that helped gain this spot Michelin recognition, including the striped bass squidding aguachile with Granny Smith apples, onion, and delicate flowers.
Is there a special way I should put this? Or
A lot of sauce.
A lot of sauce?
A lot of sauce.
Load up on the sauce.
I've seen a lot of people drink from the bowl.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
What's so interesting is it tastes nothing like the way it looks.
Yeah, right. Kind of playing with someone's mind. Like it's super dark and intimidating looking, you know, and then it's just all these bright acidic flavors.
In the kitchen, he grills seafood.
So how would you describe your food?
I'd say it's very high in salt, acid. I love heat. I love fat. My grandma always I grew up with my grandma always telling me butter is the best thing that's ever been created.
I help him plate bluefin tuna with charred fennel.
Just around the side?
Yeah, I like to do some on the tuna, ramped up against the tuna.
Oops, man down.
No worries.
At the table, I try it.
My favorite part about this dish is that tuna jus.
Is tuna jus a real word, or is it something you made?
You know, it's kind of something I made up. They have au jus sauce, they have meat jus or beef jus. It's basically beef jus made with tuna.
That's such an interesting bite. Different, but in such a unique and it's delicious.
Yeah. Grill with a lime.
The 24-year-old chef grew up in San Marcos, graduated from Mission Hills High, the youngest of 3. This is what drew him to the kitchen.
That rock star aspect of all the cooks in the back playing with fire, flipping pans, they're sharpening their knives. And
his tight-knit family always cheering him on, even after he dropped out of college to pursue his passion for cooking.
What was their reaction when you said, yeah, college isn't really for me. I'm going to just keep working in restaurants?
I think they were very excited because now they had a personal chef.
His dad likes to tease him.
We had this ongoing joke of when I started working in nice restaurants that he'd always go get a burger after because he was still hungry.
But his biggest fan, his grandma.
We're super close. Every time she comes in, she's just, "That's my grandson!" And just screaming at the top of her lungs.
Adorable.
Yeah, and making her proud is one of the best parts about being successful.
He plates a grilled octopus with salsa macha.
So we poach this octopus in some wine and then some aromatics, some onions.
The octopus sometimes kind of freaks me out.
Hopefully we change your mind here.
We'll see how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Here's a moment of truth. It is really good. It's that salsa matcha.
The salsa matcha is
amazing.
Everything in this dish.
The kitchen is located right across from the diners.
They're sitting over there and you're working there and they're asking you questions while you're...
Full conversation while you're working, trying to stay professional, and it's so personal. There's many times where I just hand the food to the diner themselves.
Some chefs probably wouldn't like that.
At first, it took some getting used to, but it's very nice. I think it's probably the best feeling about cooking is when people enjoy your food and people do their little happy dance when they take their first bite. My go-to guy.
And that spirit of community, of gathering, is exactly what Mabel and her owner love the most. That place is so much fun. So up next, a Carlsbad gem that is gaining notice for both its beauty and its award-winning food. Jeune Jolie is part of an elite group. It's one of the very few restaurants in San Diego with a Michelin star. I sat down with chef and restaurant partner Eric Bost to talk about his California French cuisine and the other restaurants he leads, including a brand new one that just opened up.
The meaning behind the French name is right as you walk in the door. Chef Eric Bost is the culinary architect behind Jeune Jolie, and his food is exquisite.
So here we have our croque madame. So it's brioche bechamel Iberico ham, Kaluga queen caviar, and a touch of shiso blossoms.
That is amazing.
Here we have a soup of chilled English peas, and then it's served with poached scallops and a bit of fermented white asparagus.
I like the acidicness in it and the crunchiness. That's really good.
Wonderful.
My son won't eat vegetables, but I bet you he would eat this. It's so good. There are French touches in the decor, from the artwork to the rose-colored booths. The reel-to-reel plays French music.
It fit the vibe, and I think, I don't know, it's cool. They sound great.
Do people talk about it or ask about it?
Yeah, they love it.
Originally from North Carolina, he's worked in prestigious kitchens all over the world, from Singapore to New York City to Paris.
I really fell in love with the style of eating, the savoir-faire of the French, like how do you approach food? Simple things like baguettes, bread making, cheese making, the charcuterie. Like when you go shopping and you're in Paris, you go to someone, it's just the meat person, the butcher.
Yeah.
You go to just get the fromagerie, you go to get cheese.
And that concept translates into his kitchen.
So this is going to be for a veal dish that we have.
Each ingredient is a masterpiece, even down to the perfectly diced daikon, which I help him chop. Okay.
I'll give you half and I'll take the other half. So we're going to cut it the same thickness that we just cut it.
That?
Let's see. Yeah. Like this, so little squares when you look at it from the end. Looking good? Yeah, that's really good. You did amazing.
Yeah, great. I could be a sous chef.
I know. Let's go. We need 4 quarts of this now.
This is just one of 4 restaurants Chef Bost leads. There's also Campfire, which focuses on food cooked over wood, Wildland, a brand new all-day restaurant, bar, and bakery, and Lilo, which just opened yesterday.
And this one is meant to be a very immersive chef's counter, 40 guests a night. There's 22 seats.
He does his best to balance work and family. He and his wife have a 13-year-old son. What do you think's harder, being a parent or being
Oh my goodness.
what you do?
Being a parent, for sure.
The last dish I tried, sea bass with a sauce of vanilla and warm spices.
So it's coastal, it's light, it's bright.
The combination of sweet and savory is delicious. The crispness on the top of the fish makes it even more special. His journey in the culinary world began when he was young. His grandparents had a steakhouse and a seafood restaurant.
So I kind of grew up in the kitchen a bit, wrapping baked potatoes with aluminum foil and just being around sort of the energy of it.
The road to success hasn't always been easy. In 2019, Chef Bost opened Auburn in Los Angeles. It earned a James Beard Award and was named one of the best new restaurants in America. However, it didn't survive the pandemic.
It's more, for me, was like the people who would join the team, that trusted what we would do, that gave like so much effort, and then they had to that didn't exist anymore. And that whole time, obviously everything was up in the air, but it was really, really difficult for that.
He took the lessons he learned and kept moving forward. And in 2021, victory. Jeune Jolie earned a coveted Michelin star. It's kept it ever since. Describe what that was like the moment you got it.
It was a huge celebration. We can't really slow down. We always have to be curious. We always have to keep evolving and doing better than the year before.
And that drive for refinement, for creativity, continues to inspire him.
And Lilo is on the top of my list to try next. Now, still ahead on the menu, a modern seafood restaurant in Encinitas that only uses fish caught by local fishermen. We'll take you inside Urban Sea next. a modern seafood restaurant in Encinitas that takes pride in only using fish caught by local fishermen. I sat down with Chef Aiden Owens of Urban Sea, one of the youngest executive chefs and culinary directors in San Diego, who says his Australian roots influence his food.
He's the executive chef at Urban Sea. So tell me what this is. How big is this?
This is a California halibut. It's around 15 pounds. So this is the usual size that we will get in. And we go through around 400 or 500 pounds a week.
Chef Aiden Owens breaks down this California halibut in about 3 minutes in front of our cameras. For him, where the fish is from is everything.
We have a fishing industry that rivals that of Japan. Like, we have really, really beautiful fish here.
And you can taste the difference in freshness compared
Oh,
to...
yeah.
He plates a black cod crudo with orange shoyu, ginger vinaigrette, pickled mustard seed, grape and winter greens.
Fishermen that know what they're doing, you end up getting a fish that's like, it's immaculate. It's a perfect fish. At the end of the day, it's like, we're supporting local, we're trying to keep money local, we're trying to support these fishermen that have like fishing families, and they're 3rd generation, 4th generation fishermen.
And so like when you go to the grocery store and you smell fish and it smells fishy,
Yeah.
is that because it's like
Yeah.
not good?
So, you know, more often than not, yes.
Though the fish takes center stage,
You want to crust all the way around.
one of the most popular dishes on the menu is a vegetable, beets.
As like Australians, we love beets. And it was something I used to eat as a kid all the time. I love them, and I never knew why people didn't like them. And then I realized it's because a lot of people cook them really badly.
His embered beets include pistachio butter with jalapenos, date vinaigrette, and crispy Mediterranean oil. The rush of texture and flavor, incredible.
I've never had beets like this, ever.
Oh.
This is amazing. You know what? That butter is just like an added bonus to the rest of the dish. It's so good.
Chef Owens grew up on a small farm in Australia.
We lived on this little bit of land and the trees, and the beach was right next to me. And
His accent has faded in the 10 years he's lived in the U.S. He raised chickens and ducks with his mom and grew vegetables to sell at farmers markets. His mom influenced his food. So did the international students who often came to stay with them.
when I was a kid, I was learning how to make like dim sum and spring rolls and au gratin. So I was exposed to like a lot of different cultures and a lot of different ways of eating. And on top of that, my mom could definitely cook.
He's the oldest of 4 boys.
So of your 3 siblings, which one were you? Like, you know, the outgoing one or the shy one? Like, who were you in this?
I think I was a bit of the troublemaker. Yeah.
You can taste that fearlessness in his food, like scallops with aguachile drizzled with crispy shallots.
I love the heat on the end of it. It does have a kick.
It definitely has a kick. It's a very small plate, but it definitely does not scream small plate once you start eating it. It's like, it's extremely punchy.
His take on paella with a Cajun twist.
So that's gonna be the California halibut with toasted orzo risotto and a Dossie Farm tomato stock.
Yeah, this is the one that's been like smelling amazing.
It's this, yeah, we sell a lot of this. It's
That is so flavorful.
Thank you.
At just 26 years old, he's one of the youngest executive chefs in San Diego. He's also the culinary director of Urban Wood in Little Italy.
Being 26, is it hard to get people to listen to you? I mean, you're pretty young for an executive chef and a culinary director.
So, working hard has always been the thing that like people respect. And the fact that I can cook and I do know what I'm talking about. And when you are able to tell someone something and be able to back it up with like science, facts, and reasons, people are more willing to like listen to what you have to say.
He isn't afraid to take risks in the kitchen, but he admits,
What is it like when people eat your food? Do you get nervous?
Yeah. I do. Because that's the thing is like, you know, just because it tastes good to me doesn't mean it tastes good to everybody.
Right.
looking to the future.
Eventually I would like to have my own farm and my own little restaurant on said farm and be able to not just, you know, buy local stuff, but like make local stuff.
Is that going to be in San Diego?
I hope so.
And can I come too?
Of course, yeah.
And Chef Aiden is amazing, so is his food. Now let's head to North Park for a sophisticated yet cozy fine dining experience meant to make you feel like you're at an intimate upscale dinner party. I caught up with Chef Itse Behar of Black Radish to talk about her food, family, and her unconventional road to success.
Inside Black Radish, you'll find elegance, sophistication, yet there's also a warmth you may not expect at first glance.
I'm always thinking food. I'm all constantly, what if I put this with that? What would it taste like? Yeah.
The food, clean California flavors with a touch of Chef Itse Behar's Mexican and Middle Eastern roots.
We have ahi tuna. It's a crudo, blood orange, cara oranges, some garlic blossoms, and a vinaigrette made with French chili.
And the citrus really stands out.
This is so interesting because I very rarely get to sit down and...
Our server today, Chef Itse's husband, John Welsh, who's also the restaurant's architect and co-owner.
I call him Welch and he calls me Behar. Sometimes I do that.
Is that a unique sort of, like, is it difficult working with your significant other? I could imagine that could be the case.
It is because not only we share like the life at home and with the kids and everything, and also work. So I think it could be a little challenging, but we do well.
Their North Park restaurant, a labor of love they dreamed up together.
That's my intention. Of a chef-driven restaurant where you know the chef is there. It is like a family where you know that you're having good product and it's just relaxed and nice environment.
Chef Itse was born and raised in Tijuana, one of 4 kids. She was the troublemaker.
I was my mom's headache. I was way too independent. I wanted to always do my own thing.
In the kitchen,
This is a carrot puree with maple syrup, salt, and butter.
I help her plate a braised short rib in red wine ancho chili glaze. And at the table, I try it.
So it's like a very warm dish, like a very like comforting, like it has a little heat on it.
Yeah, my twist on it.
The name Black Radish is an ode to the path she took to get here, a little unusual, a little different. While many chefs open their signature restaurants in their mid to late 30s, Chef Itse was 49.
I walked out of the industry for 13 years.
And she left for good reason, to stay at home and raise her children.
What was it like to step away, to raise a family, and then did you always think about coming back, or what was that like?
The minute I stepped out, I knew I was going to come back. And in that period, so that was the 90s. I knew I couldn't come back with the 90s food to, the new.
Wow. Yeah.
So in my time, I prepared myself from traveling. I took private lessons. I took butchering lessons. I was always in the now, trying to see new spices. What was the trend for new chefs? This is the duck breast with lavender honey glaze and the French sauté asparagus.
You have like a warmness about you, I think, that comes out in your food, and your vibe is very warm. So
Thank you so much.
I can sense that in your food and and the menu for sure.
For her, this is success.
What is it like when your kids come here and see their mom with her dream come true?
They're like, for us, it's incredible. I mean, we see your work and your tenacity, and we need to take from that to, what we do in the future.
So this was your destiny.
I think so. I always say, when you know that you would not do anything else but this, then you know you're in the right path.
And coming up, a chef that's making a name for herself throughout the culinary world. We'll introduce you to 2-time James Beard Award finalist Tara Monsod of Anime. Chef Tara Monsod of Anime was the first San Diego chef to be named a James Beard Award finalist, one of the most prestigious honors in the culinary world. And this year, she was named a finalist again. I sat down with her to talk about her Filipino-inspired food and her journey to the top.
In front of you, you have the short rib kare-kare, which has been on the menu since day one. Very humble, homey dish. Tend to have it on holidays. Yeah, it's nice and tender.
So good. How would you describe this dish to somebody who maybe has never had it before?
Every culture has a beef stew, and this one is, I just say like a peanut forward beef stew. It's pretty good.
Patting yourself on the back there.
Yeah, I forget.
She's the executive chef at the posh anime restaurant. Chef Tara Luansing Monsod fuses her Filipino
It's a long,
roots
skinny
into her
kitchen.
food.
Introduce people to other Filipino food other than lumpia, pancit, adobo, like the kind of the 101s.
And since she took the lead in 2021,
For the first month or two, I kept getting called out by a lot of people from our community reaching out saying like, hey, I would just want to meet the chef. I heard she's Filipina and she's making Filipino food, and I really enjoyed it. And I never had this like this before. The other one is the tuna kinilaw with a coconut calamansi cream. I like to describe it as like a Filipino style ceviche.
I like the heat at the end.
Yes. Filipinos, like, we love vinegar. We love acid.
It makes you want more. It's like
Yes,
that
it makes you
sauce.
salivate. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really incredible.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to have Filipino food in fine dining?
We deserve a seat at the table with every other culture that's doing things at, what do you say, at a quote, quote, elevated level, you know. We're just proud of our culture, you know. It's such a loving, welcoming culture. And food, above all, is like a language that is a love language.
Chef Monsod was born and raised in the Los Angeles area. Her parents immigrated from the Philippines and worked hard to make a life for her.
What did they instill in you that makes you who you are today?
Definitely good work ethic. No matter what, you get to work. Like if you're tired, you get to work. If you're feeling a little under the weather, you get to work. No half-assing. no half-assing.
That hard work paid off. Chef Monsod is the first San Diego chef ever to be named a James Beard Award finalist.
I went, holy crap, I mean, I made it to finals. I kind of honestly just sat there for a little bit and I was just like, wow, like they chose me, you know? And again, somebody who's always been underestimated, it's kind of like, oh, well, there you go.
Life is busy. She just recently threw out the first pitch at the Padres game, and she's also the executive chef at Le Coq, a French steakhouse in La Jolla, set to open in June.
I love what food does for people. The moment somebody, like, I mean, kind of similar to you, where they have the plate, they take that first bite and they do that like, oh, that's so good. That moment for me is very rewarding.
If I didn't like it, I would have been like, this is different.
Yeah.
But through it all, she's remained humble.
Filipinos have a saying like utang no loob. It's kind of like knowing where you come from, knowing all the people that have helped you, and just paying respects.
And still ahead, we're heading to Bird Rock, taking you inside the fine dining experience of Paradisia. Stay with us. And now to a restaurant in Bird Rock that's won Michelin recognition for its food and local recognition for its design. Paradisia has a unique architectural history, and its executive chef, Jeff Armstrong, creates modern French food fused with California flavors.
Inside the historic piano building at La Jolla Boulevard and Bird Rock Avenue, you will still hear music. Though the keys now tell a different story.
I think the food scene's really evolving, and I think there's a lot of great things going on in the restaurant world around here. Just like a little cherry caramel.
Paradisia, with its pink neon sign and tropical decor, has won awards for preserving the 1940s mid-century structure.
If you look, there's not many straight lines in the building, and I think as a mid-century building, it's an iconic San Diego building.
And it's not just the bright, intricate mural that's pretty.
Ooh, these are pretty.
The food is too. Executive chef Jeff Armstrong.
So this is our Hokkaido scallops from the coast of Japan. A lot of people say the best scallop in the world. We serve it with like a corn and lemongrass emulsion. It's got some roasted garlic, lemongrass, corn, some Thai chilies in it, lemon peel.
I could pick this up and lick the dish. This is so good.
The veal Milanese is crusted in sesame seeds and panko after marinating overnight in a garlic black pepper mustard blend. The sauce.
It's like a buttermilk kind of ranch sauce, if you will. But it's got buttermilk, pickled mustard seeds, some fresh herbs, and then it's garnished with a little bit of chive oil.
Wow, even the sauce is pretty.
He says the menu complements the atmosphere, elegant and luxurious, yet approachable.
Is it difficult to make food that's elevated, but not intimidating, kind of approachable?
Yeah, it's something I think about a lot. Familiar ingredients, but kind of elevate the technique and really get back to basics sometimes.
So good.
It's really tasty. I know.
Oh my God.
Paradisia is the genus name for 6 species of birds of paradise. Every cocktail on the menu is named after one of them. The attention to detail even extends to the little matchbooks.
I think every chef and restaurateur and is trying to create memories or like connect with emotions. And so that's what we really try to do with the food here. So this is our grass-fed beef tartare. So I think it's like a traditional tartare with just a few little nuances that you don't traditionally see.
That's so good.
It's funny, I eat a lot of it. And you know, it's one of the dishes on our menu that I never tire of.
Chef Armstrong has worked in prestigious kitchens all over the world. He grew up near Washington, D.C. and spent summers at his great-grandparents' garden and feed store in North Carolina. For him, the farm-to-table concept is simple.
What my great-grandmother cooked was on the plate was what we farmed during the day. And if we needed okra, I went and picked okra.
How do you think that experience then shaped you as a chef?
Well, I think one thing, everyone there worked hard, but also just there's something, I don't know if it's magical, but feels good about picking it and eating it. And it's like, you know, you're completing the food cycle or the chain, if you will.
In the kitchen,
So you really just kind of make a little thing and pop it out.
we peel fava beans.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of therapeutic.
So how many of these do you peel, you think, a night?
He's got about 5 pounds worth over there.
So how many do you think that is?
Oh my gosh. Just cut them as fine as possible.
Chopping chives takes a little more skill.
There you go, yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah. And you'll want to like,
You're saying I'm not hired.
well, maybe a little training.
Teaching is a big part of what he does.
A chef is a teacher, a mentor, someone who passes that torch on. That's important to me.
Technique fused with style. The keys to success for this Michelin-recognized spot continue to build.
And still ahead, he's a chef that shows his love for his hometown of San Diego through his food. We'll take you inside Cali. And now we introduce you to Chef Travis Swiker, the owner and chef behind the Michelin-recognized Cali in downtown San Diego. The Santee native spent more than a decade away from home working for some of the most respected chefs in the business. He calls Cali a tribute to California, and his goal is for guests to get a taste of the San Diego sunshine.
So this guy is our Aleppo chicken. So yogurt marinated garlic chicken that's spiced with Aleppo pepper and coriander and fennel seed. What do you think? Is that good?
This is like honestly one of the best things I've ever had.
His food tells a story, and the star of it, fresh ingredients from San Diego.
And this is the very first locally caught bluefin tuna of the season. So this is pure simplicity at its best.
Pretty incredible.
It's pure heaven right there, right?
It's like the freshness of the fish. You can just taste it.
And the chives give it a little bit of that like fresh spring flavor.
Chef Travis Swikert is the owner and food genius behind Cali, one of those restaurants that's hard to get a reservation at.
It's your first restaurant that you've ever opened, and you pretty much hit it out of the ballpark. Like, how does that happen?
A lot of people like might look at me and say, "Oh, that guy's so lucky," but like, you know, it took many years, full dedication, head down, extremely passionate.
But it's not just the food that pays tribute to his hometown.
There's California spot prawns.
That's pretty incredible.
The decor does too. The barrel of a wave over the bar. The banquettes mimic skateboard railings. The name of the restaurant? A 90s hip-hop reference.
The name means the most beautiful in Greek. And so I just changed the K to a C because I wanted to connect California to the Mediterranean.
Oh,
so
I didn't even see that. That's cool.
You know, and then also Biggie said going back to Cali. So I was like, I'm coming from New York back to Cali, so
Swikert is one of 5 boys in his family. He grew up in Santee, a surfer who attended West Hills High. At the age of 4, while cooking with his dad, the stove drew him in.
he put the cognac in the pan and and I was like, yeah, I can play with fire for the rest of my life. This is artichoke, peas, and mint.
Thank you.
You know, it's kind of a natural pairing. It's like when I met my wife.
Yeah, and you guys met in New York City?
First night in New York City, my wife hit on me. Believe it or not, she hit on this. Yeah.
What do you think it was that drew her in about you?
I was living in London, and when I was there, like the faux hawk was like really like the move. So,
You're gonna have to show me a picture of that.
The couple has 2 boys.
What lessons about parenthood do you think transfer well into the kitchen?
being a great communicator was never one of those tools that like you were taught until you have a kid and you realize you're talking to somebody that doesn't understand what you're saying. What you're gonna do is you're gonna make a C with your hand like this.
In the kitchen, he teaches me how to roll pita dough.
Don't be afraid to kind of push down and then push back.
Somehow mine doesn't
Yeah,
look
you're
like
there.
yours.
But you're doing a really good job.
All right.
This one will be for your kid. I don't know if I'll serve that one, but you did a really good job. All this can change in one moment. Whether my success changes or not, it's not going to change who I am as a person. I can literally say every single day that I'm living my dream.
And through it all, there's no place he would rather be than home.
Chef Swikert is one of the most fun chefs I have interviewed so far. Now, let's take a look at Southern California's first and only Michelin 3-star restaurant. Addison is located in Del Mar, but the chef behind it, Chef William Bradley, is from Chula Vista. He's the son of a fire chief and a stay-at-home mom. And one thing about him is clear. If he's passionate about something, he is all in. He first dreamed about playing professional soccer, but then ended up turning his talents to food. I tried Addison's signature dish, and it is incredible.
It's a warmed koshia curry rice that's been finished with a little bit of toasted sesame. And then on top, you see the yellow area there. That is a smoked sabayon, which has been smoked over cherry wood.
And Chef Bradley wanted to remind everyone to never let where you're from dictate what you can do. You can read more about Chef Bradley and Addison on our website, cbs8.com. And still ahead, a Michelin-recognized restaurant in the heart of Golden Hill will take you inside Kingfisher. Welcome back. Now to a Michelin-recognized restaurant in the heart of Golden Hill. I caught up with Chef David Sim of Kingfisher, a first-generation Cambodian American raised in San Diego, whose career in the culinary world began in the most California way possible, at In-N-Out.
This is gooey duck from Washington. It gets paired with pickled taro stem, a little bit of celery, meadowwood sorrel, rice fatty herb.
That is really nice.
I like to cook with like very high acid, salt, spice, and sugar, so it's just finding the balance between them all for certain dishes.
And the dishes at Kingfisher are full of bold flavors, modern Vietnamese French cuisine through a California lens.
This is really pretty.
Yeah, a little sweet and savory. It's a grilled rudikia with fermented bean curd vinaigrette, little toasted rice crumble, nectarine.
It's much heartier than I would have expected too, and that flavor just kind of bursts through there.
Chef David Sim was named executive chef last March.
I remember getting goosebumps. It felt like a big kind of wave of like relief and gratification that all the hard work has finally paid off.
What did your parents say?
When I got executive chef, you know, Asian parents are like, you know, how much money are you getting?
How much money are you gonna make?
Typical Asian parent stuff.
His culinary path to this Michelin-recognized restaurant began in fast food.
Your career began at In-N-Out.
Yeah, essentially. So essentially, it was my first job. It was my introduction into cooking.
What's your favorite thing on the secret menu?
I was a simple guy. I was like a double single light toast kind of guy.
No animal style?
No animal style.
Chef Sim grew up in City Heights, graduated from Crawford High School, the youngest of 3 boys.
I just wanted to be around them all the time. I wanted to be like them.
His family's story is just as remarkable as his food. His parents fled genocide in Cambodia in the 1970s.
My parents had a really tough time. They had some insane stories. I believe they went to the Philippines first and then Thailand. That's where my brothers were born, in a concentration camp there. And then we came over to Washington, where I was born. And I was like the first to be born in America, and they did not forget to remind me that I was the golden child who had to save the family. So you're gonna take the egg and then just drop it right in the center.
Ooh. In the kitchen, he teaches me how to plate his favorite dish on the menu.
This is our house-made egg noodles with soft poached egg and black winter truffles.
So I just pick it up like this?
Yep.
Just drop it like that.
Perfect. So you get a little bit of fleur de sel. Most restaurants will use Malden. We're French, so we go fleur de sel right on the egg.
Okay.
Beautiful. A little bit of espelette right on the egg as well.
I shave the truffles.
So I get to eat that, right?
Yeah, you're gonna eat that.
Every detail is important. The craft cocktails.
We have the Endless Prosperity. It's featuring Las California's Baja Citrico gin, so a very citrusy-driven gin.
Pair with the food and the dessert.
Oh, that is amazing.
Ice cream made with corn from Chino Farms. The second one?
That's so good. What?
Yeah.
That's fish sauce ice cream?
Yeah, it's fish sauce ice cream.
Despite his success, there's still one person who makes him nervous in the kitchen.
I have a hard time cooking Cambodian food in the kitchen with my mom.
Why?
Because I think she's like, if I do something that's not super traditional, she'll nip it. She's like, we don't do that.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like if you're doing a traditional salad and I'm cutting it different, if I'm cutting it a way that the restaurant will cut it, she's like, that's wrong. You're supposed to cut it this way. Like the direction of the onion, she's like, no, you don't do that.
Though he's proud of all he's accomplished and looks to the future, he says the journey his family took to get here is always with him.
I think about it all the time. Like every day, I don't forget what my parents did for me.
And now to a fine dining experience you won't find anywhere else in San Diego or even the country. Wrangiri is an Indonesian restaurant located in the chef's own backyard. It's Chef Rhys Sims's restaurant in the middle of Serra Mesa, nestled in between homes. It looks like a tropical paradise. In 2021, Wrangiri was the first micro-enterprise home kitchen operation to be approved by the county. It serves up to 12 diners 3 nights a week, and she says success was instant.
Checked your reservations and you guys are booked out until 2025.
Yes, every year we're very, very grateful. We always book a year out, without any advertising. It's just word of mouth. All our guests, they all making a real video, TikTok video, and then it goes viral.
And people fly in from all over the world to try the 6-course meal. You can read more about Wrangiri on our website, cbs8.com. And coming up, we're heading to North County to take you inside a restaurant that puts a twist on traditional Mexican food. Oceanside is home to a Michelin star restaurant that takes traditional Mexican food and adds a contemporary twist to it. I sat down with Chef Roberto Alcocer to talk about his journey to elite chef status and how his heritage is fused into every part of the menu.
Located right across from the pier in Oceanside, next to the Top Gun House, is one of San Diego's only Michelin star restaurants. Valle is Chef Roberto Alcocer's first American restaurant, and it's beautiful. From top to bottom, inside and outside, your eyes want to devour all of it, from the wooden design above the fireplace, to the intricate details in the lights, to the custom handmade plates. The view of the ocean is almost as stunning as the food.
This is a tich tamal, or 7 layers tamal. On the base you have pipián. Pipián is one of the moles of Mexico that is made of pumpkin seeds and tomato and chilies.
And it's got this explosion of flavors on top of it. That is delightful.
So this is carne asada. In Mexico, normally on Sundays, you get together with your family and friends, turn on the grill. We have our roasted avocado, our onion zarandeadas with our black sauce, and chile güero puree there.
That is so good.
It's good, right? This is the Mexican food that Mexican eats, that you will find if you go out of those hotels and go to the real Mexico.
Chef Roberto was born in Mexico City. He grew up in Ensenada and knew at a young age he was destined for a career in cuisine.
I love to eat since I was being fed by breast. That's what my mom says. But honestly, in 6th grade is when I was like serious about cooking.
In the kitchen, he shows me the Vesuvio charcoal grill he used to make the carne asada.
For me, smoke is flavor, right? For me, the smoke, it's an ingredient. And it's part of the Mexican cuisine. This is the garlic.
He shows me how he creates mouth-watering salsa verde.
Oh my God, that smells amazing.
Those are the oils of the chili coming out. This is contemporary Mexican food, but traditions are traditions and you don't mess with traditions. So this is tortillero or tortilla press. We're gonna fill it with chicharrón.
He makes his version of Mexican ravioli. On the plate, it all comes together.
This is the tetela with salsa verde and epazote.
Cannot wait to try this one.
Sauce.
Thank you. It's almost too pretty to eat, though.
No, that's, I mean,
that sauce
yeah, it's good, right?
Is unreal.
Chef Roberto went to culinary school in France, worked in prestigious kitchens in Europe before returning to Mexico. A decade ago, he opened the Michelin-recognized Malva in Valle de Guadalupe, and in 2017, he was asked to lead Valle.
To be honest, they lied to me because they offered me a restaurant in San Diego. And in my head, San Diego was La Jolla, Rancho Santa Fe, right. Gas Lamp. And then we're in San Diego. And this is Oceanside. I came, we were standing in the corner of the restaurant, the pier, and that was an easy sale.
His wife and 2 kids agreed to leave their life behind across the border.
It's been a ride, a roller coaster. I mean, my dream came true. We got the Michelin star 1.5 years after opening. I turned on the computer and I saw the Michelin guide has the pleasure to invite you to the Michelin Gala. And I start crying.
He says the challenge now is keeping the star and earning another. He's proud to be part of Oceanside and says most of his customers are local. For Chef Roberto, where he's from is infused in everything.
How proud are you of your Mexican heritage and having that part of your restaurant?
I always tell my staff that I'm the most Mexican they will find. I really love my country. I mean, happy to show the good Mexico, you know? Mm-hmm. Normally in the news you see the bad Mexico, mm-hmm. and there's a lot of good Mexico, mm-hmm. and I think the gastronomy and the people like me is the good Mexico that people needs to know.
And thanks so much for joining us for this On the Menu special. You can find a list of all of these stories and more on our website, cbs8.com/menu. For CBS 8, I'm Kelly Hessedal.